Okay, you ready?
We're on.
Okay, but your beer's not open.
I usually open when we go.
Oh, okay. Hey there, FLOSSTUBE. This is Cathy, the hands-on designer. Happy hour with
Bill, Mr. HOD.
All right.
Hopefully I don't spill things. It's been a long day.
All right. Well, I'm going to have a little, I got to wait for the cheers, don't I?
Getting ahead of yourself. Ding.
Cheers. Okay. What you got?
It's a Ray Gun IPA.
You like that one.
Yeah, by Back Pocket in Coralville, Iowa.
Coralville. Coralville. So that's kind of your like Iowa City?
Mm-hmm. It's
Nice.
right next to where University of Iowa is. Yeah.
Nice. Cool. I just made myself a little cranberry mule in my new, I upgraded my game a little bit to, I have a fancy shaker now. It's in the sink, or I'd show it to you, but.
So I don't have to go glass to glass,
Yeah.
which is quite a sight.
We're classy. Anyway, so it's been a while, and I'm just gonna right off the bat, it's gonna be kind of a longer video. So we got a lot to talk about. In the beginning, a lot of it's gonna be recap of where we've been and what we've been doing. So if you're like, I'm just here for the stitching, then you might wanna fast forward. Or if you wanna see some cool stuff or hear about some cool things that we've been doing,
Hang around.
Grab, I would say grab a cocktail, grab something to drink, but usually by the time people see this, it's morning. So let's go with coffee, maybe, or save it for tomorrow evening. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah. So anyway, yay. So, okay, we are not cooking. Sorry, Mom. Yeah, my mom told me recently that she really misses when we don't cook. Sorry, Mom. Next time, I promise. But I will tell you, there was a plan. We were going to cook. We were going to make Mom happy. And I was going to show yesterday, and I've talked about this before in different episodes. A lot of times, I love to make meals where like you cook once and we eat several times, especially on weeks like this when we've got a lot going on and dinner's really an afterthought. And
It's optional.
yeah, and you know, when we try to eat, you know, we gotta eat healthy, and so we just try. But anyway, so I'll stop talking about that. So I took a bunch of frozen chicken breast and I threw them in the crock pot, and I added a jar of salsa. Literally, I think I went to the fridge and I pulled out every jar. Like, you know, you got that much left in a jar of salsa, and we probably had 3 or 4 in there. That all went in, and then I opened a new jar and I just let it go. Like, it was frozen.
And chicken stock.
Yeah. No, I didn't. We were out.
Oh, that's right.
Because we had to get to the grocery store,
That's
which that's the story of our life lately.
We have some now.
Yeah, oh good. So I think I added like some usual suspects as far as spices, but no, there was enough juice in the salsa. We didn't need the chicken stock because we didn't have the chicken stock. But anyway, so then I let it go on high. That was in about 10, 11, something like that. I let it go on high till about lunchtime. And then these were smaller fillets. I don't know, maybe like a 3-ounce, something like that, individual. So, you know, it didn't take much for them to defrost. And then I shredded. I let it go till, turned it down to low at lunch, and then about 5 o'clock I shredded everything. What do we do with it? Like last night I made black beans and rice, and then put some cheese on it, and then some meat on it, and a little avocado and hot sauce.
So
made a bowl. And it was good. Tonight I think we were gonna that's a lot of meat, so that'll last us. You know, I was gonna make enchiladas. Went to the store to get the chicken stock, forgot the enchilada sauce. Story of our life.
Yeah.
And then, so I think maybe just do some tacos or something. Street style tacos or something like that. Anyway, so there you go, Mom. You don't get to see it. But actually, I think what she doesn't like is we talk about it and we like maybe show stuff, the chopping, but she never sees the final thing,
product.
You know, and I think that was more her. But as I reminded her, this is I don't run a cooking show, so. Anyway, there you go, Mom. Anyway, so you'll notice that we're dressed like We're dressed like twins. I gotta tell you, it's warm.
It's a little toasty.
We broke down and turned the heat on. We just did. We're kind of excited because we are expecting rain. So a lot of the fields around us have not been harvested yet. So nighttime harvest is going on some of the fields up there. And I think that's like so if we kind of keep looking out, it's because the lights, on the tractors at night, because it's dark outside now when we're filming, they come and it looks really cool. I'm sorry, if you've never seen that, I'm sorry. Everybody should see that once in life, a nighttime harvest.
It's pretty cool.
But anyway, so we are wearing our 141 Pep Rally sweatshirts. These were a gift at the Pep Rally cross stitch retreat that Chantelle of Chantel's 141 Design Studio hosted in early September. Oh my gosh, our last video was before that, so has it been that long?
Yes.
You got a friff from the sweatshirt.
I'm sure I do. It won't be the last one.
Do I have one there?
I don't think
Quite
so.
possible.
Well, it could be too.
Anyway, so don't tell Chantel, but they had fun. She had a photo op, and she and her husband and her daughters, they created this fun Pep Rally environment. They had like a photo spot, like for yearbook pictures, and they had pom-poms and
the table. That's uncalled for. The tables where the charts were and the exchange was, and the brag table, they were all like floats.
Yeah, like homecoming parade floats.
Yeah.
It was so cool.
It was very well done.
What helped was that it was held, there was an old school in, where were we? Williamston, Michigan, and it's been renovated to be like a community center, and there's offices and things like that. So it's very nice. We were in the gymnasium, which had a stage, and it was cool because some of the attendees said they went to high school there.
Yeah.
And we had local people, local stitchers. We asked all the different states: Georgia, North Carolina, Virginia, Ohio, Pennsylvania,
Arizona,
California, Indiana, of course, Michigan, Iowa, Nebraska. I know I'm leaving out a lot, but I was overwhelmed. Georgia. Yep. We'll keep shouting out states throughout the video as we remember
random
them.
states.
Anyway, so I snagged one of these from the photo op. Anyway, I just thought that was funny. So it's so much fun, and a couple things I want to talk to you about that. If you ever get a chance to go to one of her retreats, I highly recommend it. It was a great group. We had about 125 stitchers there. It was a little different kind of a retreat for me because I both taught and it was just fun stitching. I got to sit and stitch with stitchers and hang out and talk to them and find out about what they were working on, and you did too.
Yeah.
He was very much in the action, in on the action.
Met a lot of great people.
Yeah, it was
a lot of fun. Good time.
Cute little town. There were
great restaurants in town.
Yeah, great restaurants. Some people went antiquing. A lot of them just hung out and stitched. Yeah. So that was great because we did class time kind of in the morning, and then the rest of the day was fun, as was the evening. So, and
You're saying your class is no fun?
Oh, I guess I did kind of say that, didn't I? No, we had a lot of fun.
It was a good time.
I would say probably, okay, we will show the class piece because we want to talk about that. Where'd you put it?
Right over there.
Oh, okay, gotcha. This whole counter is full of stuff. And boy, this sweatshirt, these are really nice sweatshirts. She's got some, doesn't have this, but she's doing some other sweatshirts like Little Miss Cross Stitch. They're on her website. And if it's the same company, these are very soft sweatshirts. I am not typically a sweatshirt gal. I will wear this a lot this winter when it's a whole lot colder. But we just wanted to show them off. So I will say, everybody outdid themselves with, when you go to retreats, a lot of times people bring like little gifts and for their table mates. And I'm always amazed when they bring one for me too. It's never expected, always appreciated. And it just really touches me sometimes when somebody says, I made this special for you. So I'll do a very quick parade of things we got, because I hate that, things we got. But just this touches me so much. I just kind of I want to, it's kind of a shout out to the stitchers that thought of us. So this was a very fun bag. It had some items in it. Most of the times, and this had Chantelle and Cathy, so Chantelle got one too. And most of the time, if there's missing something, I'm either already using it or it was candy, which is already gone. Yours was, you got a gift too. You got a lot of gifts.
Well, mine was kind of like the chocolate.
Yours were consumables.
It was the beer, and
yeah,
there's none here.
Yeah, you got a nice selection of beers across the country. I was pretty impressed.
It was nice.
Fun little things. Like, I was actually looking at this before we went on camera. Great little, these bags are always awesome. There was candy in here, I believe Skittles. Some
but you don't want it to spoil.
Well, yeah, no, Skittles go bad, don't they? You know, like in about 50 years, but you know, we don't want to risk it. But I was looking at this pen, I'm like, ooh, pretty pen. Why did I leave it in the bag? And then, because I was waiting for this video, and look, my happiness journal. And some stickers and some fun things. So that was cool. Some of them get pretty darn handy. A nice little coaster, more coasters. This, I have to say, I love when somebody put a little sticker, and this is Allison. Well, I knew it was her because I saw her working on these. She posted it on Instagram, and I'm like, ooh, I hope we get some. Yeah. We did. So yay, thank you. Cute little bags. This actually kind of hit hot chili pepper. This actually got stuck in the bottom of the bag. I forgot this was in there, so we're gonna use this.
Absolutely.
So it's not going back in the bag, it's going in the pantry so we can use it.
Perfect.
Fudge from, I'm assuming somebody's where they live. Cleveland, Ohio, maybe? Okay. So I love.
There was some Ohio beer.
Yes, yeah.
That's another state, Ohio.
Yep.
We didn't mention that one.
Ohio!
Yeah.
Okay, and then just, y'all get crafty and just adorable. Like a cute little, or basket, whatever you want. Put your scissors in there. Some along that, these were not a gift, but well, they kind of were. But I picked up some cute little, get that? HOD? Get it?
From...
Yes, that was from one of Chantel's friends. She has a paint company, Bungalow 47. I guess I should say, well, I'll get to that here in a second. Yeah. A cute little candle. We are starting to burn. This, who doesn't love that sound? This was from Sweetwater Stitcher. This is adorable. I've been wanting to do this video because I want to use these things. I was kind of keeping them all together to show, but just an adorable, it's a tin and a magnet and then a cute pair of scissors. That's kind of like flamingo pink, wouldn't you say? I don't know, I would think so. Thanks, Jessica. And again, I love this, that she put a little card in there. So I can remember who it came from, which is awesome. Okay, my most embarrassing gifting moment. I never assume anything when it comes to these. I was at this table and everybody at the table had this cute little sewn basket. And then a few of them had this adorable sugar plum sitting there. And I just I love pincushions, and is that not stinking cute? I asked permission, I picked it up, I'm like, oh, can I look at that? Like, you guys, and everybody at the table had one, and I was just like, oh my gosh, you guys have really outdone yourselves. This is the most adorable thing. Well, then the stitcher attendee who made these for her table mates then handed me one, and I was like, I was thankful and floored, but then felt a little guilty, like I didn't guilt her into it. But she's like, no, I just hadn't had a chance to give you one yet. So I felt like I didn't want to be like, where's mine? Yeah. But I'm so glad she brought me one. Is that not, I mean, that's cute little fabric, it's kind of like this, just soft construction. And look at that sugar plum. I mean, is that not the cutest? I know exactly where it's gonna go. This when we decorate for Christmas. When we decorate for Christmas. We haven't even decorated for Halloween yet. A little bit of fall stuff. If sometimes people comment like on the counters behind us and like that shelf up there. Yeah, no, all that I haven't done anything with that yet. I will.
Couple other things going on. So adorable sugar plum. What else? I think there was a lot of other stuff. Oh, the lady with the chocolate chip cookies. Oh my gosh. I'm not a sweets person.
You are not a sweets person, but let me tell you,
those were very good.
You had your way with those chocolate chip
They were
cookies.
very good.
They were.
And like the other edibles, they didn't
gone.
last very long.
And they were so.
They didn't even make it home.
No.
I think those were gone in the car.
Well, it took us 2 days to drive home. I mean, give us some credit. But they were sourdough chocolate chip cookies with dark chocolate and then pecans in them. And oh my Lord, she gave us a pack that on the first night. And then a couple days later when we were getting ready to leave, she's like, oh, I have an extra pack. Would you like it? And normally in situations like that, I'd be like, oh no, I'm fine. I was like, yep.
They were very good.
It was, they were tasty. So anyway, should I talk about the project? Okay. It's over here. Okay. So this was our project. This is called Folk Art Fall Autumn. So the stitchers got pre-stitching. I shouldn't always say gals, but we did not have any gentlemen stitchers join us this time. I have had in class. But anyway, lots of lovely stitchers, but they had an option of this 32 count driftwood fabrics by Stephanie or Ada. Yes. And they got pre-stitching and they completed everything with the exception of 3 bands. There was some specialty stitches up here, here, and here. And that's what we did on day 1 in class. I walked them through how to do the specialty stitches and they completed that. So then the next day when we came in, we concentrated on lacing their linen or Ada to a piece of mat board, adding the rickrack, and then covering this mat board with this really pretty quilting cotton fabric, and then attaching it to their board. Now they got the board. Well, I told the whole story of how the board came to be. I always have to give the background story of everything. I found that I had this cute little butter paddle, and then Chantelle had this massive bedspread smoother, whatever. And it was just funny. So we somehow met in the middle and came up with this really cute little board. And just did the fun little treatment. I actually still have, shown the back. I still have one of the original boards. I actually was talking to her the other day and said, hey, can I get an updated board that is stained on the back? So you'll notice these 2 things on there because, and look up close at the pattern. Chantelle and I worked together to create this pattern because we wanted something really fun and distinctive for this. And I kind of had a vision and I said, I really kind of wanted it to mimic or mirror this line right here. And then of course I included magnets. And the idea, you noticed I said 4 seasons folk, autumn, is that there will be 3 more seasons. So I've had a lot of questions about this. A couple of floss tubers that were there have been videoing about it, and thank you so much. It was, that's very nice of them to do, and I appreciate that. This actually is kind of different for a class piece for me, because a lot of times I design a class piece and I like to teach it several times before I release it. Well, what's going to happen is this is going to have all 4 seasons, and we will be kicking it off in Nashville this year. So the board, you can't order it just yet. It will be available through your shop or Chantelle at the appropriate time. So if you're like, when are we gonna, just wait.
March. It's not that far away.
Yeah.
So it's a fun piece. It's kind of, you've kind of said it's sort of a design mode that I'm in now. And
yeah,
I don't know. I really like it. I stitched this model. I always stitch all my class pieces, and I had so much fun with it. It came out.
And a large number of students completed the project.
Yeah.
They went home with a completed, which was really neat to see.
Yeah, it was fun.
And that's usually the goal of your classes.
Absolutely. So yeah, so there was fun times, there was class times. The class was fun. I guess I keep saying that. It sounds like the class wasn't fun, but we laughed. Okay, that is actually one of my class rules, is we have to laugh in class. And usually by the time I give them that rule, we've laughed at least once or twice. So
yes, because there are rules.
Yeah. There are rules. I'm sorry. There are. Anyway, but a couple things about this retreat. Let me tell you, Chantelle and her girls and Lynn, I cannot leave out Lynn. Lynn, they all work their behinds off.
And Brian, her
husband. Chantelle she had kind of a soft opening of her shop, where her focus obviously is on, she does carry charts. She's adding linens and adding floss as she is able. Hopefully I'm doing this justice. It's her space is adorable. She's done a great job just making it comfy, cozy, cute. You just want to hang out in her shop. And where she's not open, like, I think please don't call me. Last I talked, she's like, she's not open regular hours now. This was kind of like the retreat was an opportunity to have a soft opening and sort of just get her feet wet with the shop.
Yeah.
And you can tell she worked really hard. She and Lynn and everybody worked really hard. And she showcases a lot of her finishing items.
Yeah.
So that kind of is like a slightly different take on a needle workshop, because so many of us are finishing. I mean, I've been doing it for years, but finishing on other items, not just framing everything. And she also is really big into some of these handy tools. I picked these up while I was there. This is the measuring set that kind of helps you. You want to pick that up again? When you're layering your pieces, as a lot of people are doing now, when I layered this on top of that. Now, I'm going to be honest, I eyeballed it. I've been doing this a long time, so, that's just me. But a lot of people are learning how to do this, and that's when this comes in handy, because if you know this is the space between the edge of your board and your stitching, you lay this on there, and you have it centered. Great tool. So, and then bow maker. She has these bow makers. She does have a video on how to use them, and I fully intend to watch it and learn how to use the bow makers, but I'm excited about that.
And it was really cool to see all of the finished needlework there, utilizing the different finished pieces that she sells, and then to have those available right there, next to it.
Right.
And, how do I put this together, or what, how do you finish it? And it was an impressive space.
Yeah, and
it's great.
Their laser cutter is right in the back room, and I just, I think it's going to be a really neat environment for stitchers, for her, because you're going to go and you're going to be able to pick up the latest chart from a designer or something like that, but you'll also see some fun finishes, maybe in some cases finishes that aren't on the cover. As I've gotten to work with her for some of my pieces, Polar Plunge, the On the Edge display shelf for the Plaid All Year, just to name two. And what was fun about the weekend too is she had some vendors in. My good friend Stephanie, we all stayed together in a little Airbnb farmhouse out in the country. It was so cute. Oh my gosh, I posted a few pictures. This little cabin, it should be in a magazine. It was just so sweet. So we stayed together. So it was nice because we got to relax in the evening and just visit and catch up, because I hadn't seen Steph in so long. And we hatched a couple plans for some upcoming projects, and because we can't not talk stitching. So Steph was there. She sold linen. I had a trunk show. I had two gals that made bags. Her friend had Bungalow 47 Paint Company, and so she sold a lot of paint. A lot of this paint, little vials and whatnot that are great for painting the boards, and it's really cool paint. I brought some.
Yeah.
I have some here at the house that I'm using for an upcoming project. So I'll talk more about Bungalow 47 here very soon. So it was an awesome retreat, and I can't thank Chantelle and Lynn and her the girls and Brian and all the stitchers. But we can't not mention the really awesome thing that they did for us.
Yeah, they held a raffle, and all the proceeds went to Special Olympics. And it was, what was the number? $3,360.
Yeah,
it was.
We were blown away.
It was extremely generous and very much appreciated.
So they sold tickets for the different raffle items and had buckets, and you could put your tickets in. And there were a couple gorgeous travel tote bags that were made by some of the bag makers that were in attendance. And a big one of those, like, it looks like if Crocs made a tote. I don't know what they're called, but I've seen them. She had a couple of those. A yard of fabric from Fabrics by Stephanie. And then, do we say it?
Sure.
Okay, because I know a couple people have asked. The last philanthropic pumpkin kit was there, and I think that was
part of the raffle.
That was part of the raffle. And we had one because we had to hold like one back, like in case when we shipped those years ago, shipment went awry or something like that. So that's part of what you do. There are no more kits. I'm just saying that right there.
They do not exist.
And so that sold, and I guess I was blown away because the raffle was held Saturday night. They were going to have the Smalls exchange. There was a freebie table. There was a show and tell table. There was a Smalls exchange. Some of these things these ladies did for Smalls, holy cow, they're amazing. And then there was the raffle. So you and I had gone out to dinner because I taught in the morning, and then I had a couple little breakout sessions in the afternoon for one of their gifts that I gave them. And we got kind of going late, and then the restaurant was, so apparently what happened, and I didn't know this, he told me about this on the way home. Chantelle never said anything, the little stinker, and I have talked to her about it since. She just laughed. She's like, you never know what we're gonna do. Yeah. But apparently when they were counting the proceeds, because it was $1 a ticket, it was like, what, about $2,500? And because I had texted her and said, hey, we're waiting for our dinners. We'll be a few minutes late. We'll be about 15 minutes late. And so she knew we weren't going to be there. So she got on the microphone and said, look, I'm going to open sales back up. Let's get this to 3,000 for them. And
they did.
Wow. And I didn't know that until, they hand you this money and make this very emotional presentation. And then they expected me to give a speech. So my friend Stephanie videotaped it for him. Like, as long as I just didn't ugly cry, because I don't know, but just
you didn't. You're okay. I was the one ugly crying.
No. But anyway, so you didn't tell me that until Chantelle told you. You didn't tell me till we were on the drive home. Yeah. I'm sorry. That just fills my heart.
Yeah.
It really does.
It was very heartfelt and very, very much appreciated.
And so we came back, and actually the next weekend we had a committee meeting and made the presentation to the group. And I did, so if you saw, I did a reel like with some of the athletes holding up signs that said thanks. At bowling. And that's what that was about. Yep. So anyway, so thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so probably enough about the, oh my gosh, we've been talking about Chantelle's retreat for a half hour, but that's okay, because it's worthy of a half an hour.
Absolutely.
Anyway, so should we clean up our little workspace here a little bit? Sure. Because we have lots of other things to talk about. Told you it was going to be a long one. So we're back. Oh, we made a list, just so we wouldn't forget anything. So we're back. Okay. Oh, yes. So we have one more like away retreat to go to before the end of the year. And I'm super excited about this one because this retreat does mark the final like makeup, rescheduled, discombobulated from 2020 and 2021 at Dying to Stitch in Virginia. Super excited about it. This project, I'm telling you, has lived in my mind for the last 3 years.
Yes, it has.
And I'm so excited to finally show it.
Yep.
Not yet, but soon. We'll have.
It turned out pretty cool.
Yeah, it's. I can't wait. So very excited about that. We're gonna drive. We're driving there.
Yep.
I know it's always my idea to drive. It always sounds like a good time. And then we get in the car.
No.
It'll be fun. It'll be fun. We actually enjoy.
We do. Long road trips are. Driving 100 miles is like crossing the street. It's not a big deal.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I'm excited about it. Well, plus it also gets us out of the studio and.
Plus we get back to Virginia.
Yeah, and
We love Virginia. And I was born near there. And
yes. So that'll be exciting.
Opportunity to maybe see some friends. So yeah.
And Chantel's going to be there.
Oh, that's right.
My friend Lois is going to be there.
Lois
What's that going to be
there.
like when Lois, Chantelle, and I are in a room together?
Alert the authorities.
Anyway, it's going to be a lot of fun.
It'll be good.
I am looking forward to it. Anne and Pat, I'm sure, are preparing just a great retreat, and it's going to be a good time. So I'm hoping that at least once I get to put my toes in the sand. That's all I ask.
Yes.
So, and there will be the obligatory toes in the sand shot, photo op, whatever. So we'll talk about that more after we get back from that.
Yeah.
So then when we get back,
It's time to jingle.
it's time to jingle. We got to get ready for should we go get ready for the Jingle Ball?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Hold on 1 second. You should cue some music.
Our trumpets in the shop.
Do, do, do. You ready to come back? Everybody's like, where'd they go? Where'd they go? Ready? Ta-da! We're ready for the Jingle Ball, right?
Sure.
Yay!
Yes, we are.
So the Jingle Ball, if you went last year, then you know. If you know, you know. So it's an online virtual event that is full of fun and classes and fellowship and laughter and friendship, and I could keep going. I was honored to be asked to come participate again this year as one of the 12 designers of Christmas. We got our updated merch. We got both long sleeve and short sleeve, but I figured under that sweatshirt I needed a short sleeve. And I'm wondering how friffy we are. You're not too bad.
We're a little friffy, not too bad.
But anyway, so the biggest thing you need to know about the Jingle Ball at this point is the website is thejingleball.net. So if you want to go there and check things out, if you're not exactly sure what it's all about, but the tickets open up for the event. It's just $10. What does $10 get you? It gets you a lot. It gets you entry into the event. It gets you access to all the meet and greets. It gets you access to the stitching tables. It gets you access to, there's loops and reels of entertainment. Last year we read A Christmas Carol. I had the longest passage to read of classic Christmas Carol.
Yes, it was the classic
It was a
version.
lot of reading.
Little old English there. Yeah.
So I have a different story part to read this year, so that'll be fun. All the designers are going to be doing more fun reels and videos. They'll be singing, they'll be dancing.
I heard there's dancing this
yes,
year.
there is dancing.
Not good.
It's a great opportunity if you're not able to get to a retreat for whatever reason. to come be with other stitchers and spend time stitching, visiting. We've had a lot of folks last year. I'll be honest with you. Last year, we had no idea. It was the first year. I'll speak for us, I think. We had no idea how emotional the whole weekend would be. We had people telling us that, you know, they can't afford to go to a retreat, or they don't like to go because they think they don't know anybody else, or you know, maybe they just had a recent tragedy in life and they were just trying to get back out into the world, the stitching world, and that kind of thing. And it was such a welcoming thing for them.
Yeah.
So you didn't have to be on camera. You could kind of, you could lurk. If you're a lurker, that's fine. This is right up your alley. Also, but if you like to just dig in and ask questions, and you're right there with everybody. There'll be meet and greets with the designers. Okay, can we do this? The 12 designers of Christmas this year are, well, okay.
Here we go.
Hands-on design, Lindy Stitches. Steph from Lindy Stitches is the host. She's the one who has organized the entire platform.
And she's doing an amazing job.
It's a whole new platform from last year. So some of the technical glitches that we had last year, we should not be having this year.
Right.
So Lindy Stitches, Janine from Blue Flower, Jody from Satsuma, the Pumpkins, Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery, and Teresa from Teresa Kogut Designs. Oh man, I do this to myself. Misty, Luminous Fiber Arts, Beth Twist, Heartstring Samplery, Cheryl, Tiny Modernist, Jeanette Douglas Designs, Liz from Hello from Liz Matthews. I was going to say her last name and then it didn't sound right, and I thought, oh no, I don't want to say her name wrong. Did I forget anybody? Is that how?
You were counting, then you
No,
stopped.
I wasn't.
Oh my.
Oh, I could
Tracy
be
with ink
Tracy, Ink Circles, yes. Okay, I think that might be it.
Sure.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Write them down. To make sure. I would feel so horrible. Anyway.
Yes.
Did we get everybody? I think we got everybody. Okay. I said Jody, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Okay. And anyway, so it's going to be a lot of fun. We've had quite a few actually organizational meetings. It's
Did
just.
you say Misty?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So the three newbies this year are Misty, Jeanette, and Liz. So they're having their freshman year at this. Anyway, but I think we all know better what to expect this year. So I think we're all kind of, I don't want to say more invested, but just I guess invested. We want to make sure you have a good time. That's just the way it is.
Well, it was such a big success last year. Excuse me. Everyone had such a good time that you always want to improve.
Right.
So how do you up your game and make it a better experience? And I think we're on the way.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody's working hard, and it's gonna be a great thing.
Yeah. So once again, as I mentioned, a few things. There will be the meet and greets. There are classes. Is the entertainment. There are the stitching tables. You can go hang out in rooms. All the designers will have a booth. Each one of us will again have an exclusive. It'll be exclusive to the Jingle Ball for 1 year. I know myself, I'll have that. Plus I'll have a few other goodies. I'm pretty sure everybody else will too, because they really showed out last year. And let's see.
The ornament book.
Oh, the ornament book. I love my ornament. Is that bad to say?
No.
I like everything I designed, but I had so much fun stitching this one and designing it. I loved it. And the finish, I had a vision for what I wanted it to look like, and it came out exactly, if not better than what I had imagined. So the ornament book is a purchased item. You can get PDF or a hard copy. And as with a lot of like what I have in my shop, again, I won't speak for everybody else, but I'm pretty sure our exclusive will be available hard copy and PDF. That one has to be available PDF. But other items I make available PDF. I'll have some chart packs, we'll have some floss packs, lots of fun stuff. Classes. That was probably the number one thing we heard from last year. More classes, more availability, and having them all like at one time. And then this year, when you log on to get your ticket, so here's what I'm going to suggest: is go to the website now and kind of like take a peek at the classes so you can get an idea. I imagine some will fill rather quickly, so you don't want to be like getting your ticket and then going and, oh, look at this one. Oh, look at that one. If you really, really wanted one of the classes, you're going to want to sign up. It's different this year. Last year, you got your ticket and then you contacted the designer. It's a one-stop shop this year, which is awesome. We love it just as much as you love it. So I am going to, in the description below, I'm going to put a link to the Jingle Ball itself, but I'm also going to include a link that gets you right into the page, like where the order form is. And it's kind of a quicker route. So maybe snag that and put it somewhere. Friday night, this Friday, October 13th. At 7 p.m. Eastern time. I know time zones, there's nothing we can do about that. So Steph wanted to be consistent with the time zones. That just everything posted is in Eastern time, so then you kind of have to do the math of where you are. So hopefully set an alarm, something like that. A lot of our classes, there are some PDF only classes. I know for us, we actually for the kidded, I'm offering my class in 2 sessions. So you'll see session 1, session 2. You don't have to sign up for both. You sign up for one or the other. I just did 2 different time frames to hopefully
different opportunities,
help your schedule out a little bit. Some of the classes do overlap, so we actually all 12 of us got together and kind of were like, throwing darts at a dartboard, like, okay, who's going to move here and who's going to move there? And then in the end, it was so funny because we were all being so nice, like, oh, I'll move. No, I'll move. No, you don't have to move. I'll move.
Nobody would make a decision.
But Steph got it down. She got it down. So minimal overlap.
Yeah.
And then classes, there will be actually some starting Friday night. There'll be some on Sunday. The shopping hours are a little bit longer. The whole show itself is open a little bit longer this year.
And both sessions of your classes have kitted options and PDF, because kitted options are only available in the States.
Yes.
So there is an opportunity for other customers to participate.
Yeah.
And that's new for us this year.
Right.
We didn't have PDF options in the class last year.
Right.
So.
And then we actually expanded the number of individuals in the class
by quite a bit.
Honestly, we didn't know how it was going to go last year.
We had no idea.
And it sold out rather quickly. And and so we've actually upped our numbers in each class by quite a few, and then again offered the PDF option. Should we show the class?
Sure.
Let's get ready to jingle around the block. So hopefully you are familiar with my block party series. I've got, about 15, 16, 17 in all.
Somewhere around there,
But this is a special one designed just for the Jingle Ball. And you're gonna get, if you're ordering the kit, you'll get the kit before the class, but I'm asking you to not peek, and we'll open the box together in class. So it's not like one of my typical classes where you pre-stitch and then we finish, because class is only 2.5 hours long. We're not gonna finish this in 2.5 hours. So we have a lot to we have other things to cover in 2.5 hours. So I just thought it was kind of fun. So it'll be jingle bells, that's the extent of my singing. So I got Santa and the elves, and I thought it was kind of funny because I wanted all their faces to sort of be about the same height. So the elves are kind of short, so they're standing on Christmas presents. And there's Mrs. Mrs. Claus, you know, she works harder than anybody else, really. Come on, let's get real. Anyway, so then there's your top, and then I worked with Just Another Button Company to create, each one of these has a pin set. And so this is the Jingle Ball. And that's what it says. So that will definitely come in your kit. The kit will basically give you everything that you need to stitch the block, with the exception of the stuffing, okay? We'll talk about the various stuffing options that you can use. Oh, that's really hairy on top. I'm just noticing it in the light, but we'll talk about different stuffing options. Honestly, sending stuffing, I stuff with wool roving. That ended up becoming completely cost prohibitive on both supplies and shipping.
Right.
So, but your fabric, your floss, your wool, your pins, and of course I always stick a couple other goodies in there and give you different options for the class. What I'm going to do is I'm going to walk you through the finishing steps. I've got photos. We'll have some, the plan is for some live demo too. So you'll, so now this is a little different setup. I'll actually be the only one on the screen. So this is kind of nice if you're not somebody who likes to be on the screen. The way in this new platform, it's almost like an auditorium in that everybody's out there in class and we can accommodate larger classes, but I will be the only one on screen. That's gonna be a little...
We can't see you.
Right, yeah, basically that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So no sticking your tongues out at me. I see you, I'll know. But there will be a...
He'll know.
Oh, he'll know.
And
yeah.
you'll be on the naughty list. That's
exactly.
the problem.
Nobody wants to be on the naughty list. Well, maybe. I don't know. Depends on how fun it is.
Okay then.
Bill's going to be there helping me read questions. So there'll be like, kind of like if you're familiar in Zoom, there'll be an option where you can type a question in. I will see it or you'll read it to me. And we found out today each class is going to have a technical moderator. I love it. So somebody that's going to help with more of the technical side of things in case there is an issue. That person's not going to be monitoring questions or the class. It's more the technical side of it.
Microphones and
exactly.
Stuff like that.
If people are having connectivity issues and things like that. So Steph really is, I mean, she is thinking about everything in this. So, so just come, you log into the website and, you know, if you're still kind of going, I don't get it, what is it? You log into the website and you'll right away get dropped into like a screen that's got a menu on one side and you'll see where to go shop and you'll get really comfortable with the setup easily because it's the first weekend in December. I believe it's the 1st through the 3rd. I probably should have checked. Why do we not check those things before we get on camera? Anyway, go to the website. You'll get a ticket. You'll need your ticket. And a couple things that, if you go to the website, Steph has put up some really informative, quick videos for you to watch. And I suggest, she's always entertaining. She's just so sweet. And she's working really hard on this. And so anyway, so this is my class, and actually all 12 designers are offering classes.
Yes.
Which I think
and
is
some more than one.
Yes, and some are free. So I think that's awesome. So one question I think I got a lot when I posted my class piece on the Jingle Around the Block on Instagram was, will the pattern be available for sale in your room? And no, this is like a regular class. I don't, I design things for the class, and that's exclusive to the class. Now, like most of my classes, because last year I did a class at Christmas and then I ended up releasing it through the year, I will be doing the same thing with this, but just not right away.
It will eventually release.
Yes. I will have plenty of other fun things in my room though. So there's lots of fun to be had. Anyway, so that's the Jingle Ball. So we're getting ready. I was going to say, we said we are ready, but we're getting ready.
We're working on it.
Anyway, right now we were actually thinking of filming in the studio, but I said, Oh, please no. It's a disaster right now. And people keep asking, because we did do some, renovating and moving around and making it fun down there. And when are you going to show us? Not right now.
Yeah.
That's not, no, that's not happening.
It's coming.
So, anyway, so I will have, again, in the video description below, I'll have 2 links. One to take you to the website and one that gets you right away to you can go look there now. It won't let you check out or anything. It won't let you check out until Friday night at 7:00 Eastern Standard Time.
Takes you to the ticketing page.
Yes, it's right to the ticketing page. So you can, you're in the right place. So anyway, I'm excited to jingle with you.
I am. It was a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun last year.
It was an amazing experience.
I don't know, I was exhausted by Saturday night, and yet I kept going into stitching rooms. I did stitching tables. I couldn't stop.
I mean, there are still stitching groups that are together that formed over the Jingle Ball. Right. They meet over Zoom and different things like that.
And the most fun I've had was hearing from people that said, I went last year, I lurked. This year, I'm getting on my camera and I'm gonna, I'm gonna show you my face. And I love that. I love that. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
So we don't leave for Virginia till not next week, but the following week. And just because we had nothing else to do, we've got some new releases. We have actually had these October releases set for quite some time. So I was like, okay, here we go.
Time to go.
So now we're going to get to the stitching. Yeah, an hour in and we're going to get to the stitching.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we've got 4 releases. I showed one this morning, but I want to talk about this. This is first. Should we do this one?
Sure.
It's kind of a good, since we were talking about the Jingle Ball. You want that one? And I'll hold this one. Okay, this was my exclusive from the Jingle Ball last year. And Steph had asked us, part of the agreement is that we don't release them for a year. Well, it's a little less than a year, but she was okay with it because, well, if you want to stitch it in time for Christmas and you have, you don't want to wait till early December to get it. So super fun kit. It's 3, here, I'll take there's that one. You want to hold them up closer to the camera. Really fun finishing. What I love about them is that it's kind of a different finish for me, but yet it's not. This is a flat finish, okay? But what I did is, so what I'm going to suggest is go to my website and you'll see some of my tutorials where I flat finish the front, I flat finish the back, and then I whip stitch the front to the back, except I left an opening up here, and I left, well, you can't see it because I hit it with a bow, and I left an opening down there, and that is nothing but a dowel rod. And I painted it red to be appropriate. These were cute little buckets I got at our big craft store here in town. We have a Hobby Lobby here. And then I didn't even, you can see them kind of wobbling around.
They're a little wobbly.
Earthquake in the tree lot. Anyway, so, and I did cut my sticks different heights. So if these were all sitting in a group, they're at different heights. And I didn't, that's not even attached. They're just, I mean, that can move around on there if I move it. It's not just gonna slide on its own. But what I did is I took the bucket and I got some of that foam, that floral foam. They make it in a little round like that, and then I shaved the bottom off so it got to the bottom. If you want it to be more stable, you could definitely glue that down in there. And then this is just some wired boxwood trim. I also got in the ribbon section, actually it was in the floral section. And I cut a length, and because it's wired, I kind of hooked one of the wired ends around the dowel rod, and then literally just kind of went around and around and around. And then the other end, I did it till it was full, how I wanted it to be. And then I kind of artfully mushed it into place. And then
that's a technical finishing term.
That is. And then this was like I had the most fun with this finish. And then I took the other end of the wire and I think I hooked it around the wire that existed. It's just, so it moves around. But then I can kind of, fluff it, fix it, whatever I want. So I do want to show a little bit more. So yeah, so this was I left a gap between where I slip stitched the back to the front. All right, and then when I attached the cording, now for this cording, I did use glue. So you can see how the cording is just attached to the front. And then I'm gonna scoot the bow down so you can kind of get a better look at that. Because I had a few people that, is there a finishing tutorial? No, there's not a finishing tutorial. This is like, oh, you know what? I didn't even tie the bow. I didn't even tie the bow around the thing. It's got a pin in it. I made the bow, and then can you see the straight pin there? And then once it was in, I just stuck the pin up in the front flat finishing, but you can kind of see the bottom now. And like that's where I ended my cording right there. So it's really nothing more than an ornament finish. I just left the hole in the top and the bottom, and okay, it's been stuck there for a while. I'm not going to move it around.
It's happy there.
It's happy there. It's not, but I was able to shove the painted dowel through and just had fun with it. So I had fun when I posted one of them last week on social media. I asked people what their favorite, did they have like a family tradition with a tree lot going to get their tree? And it was fun to hear everybody's stories. Seriously, this is like the easiest. I love a finish that's fun and unique, but that really at the heart of it is, see there, I just put my bow back in place, and you can fluff it. And this way, if you put it away over the winter or over the summer, and then you get it out and your bow gets a little worn, pop it out, put in a new one, or you change your color scheme or something like that. These are Classic Colorworks, and this is on 32 count charcoal Belfast. So easily available supplies. Of course, as always, I did include DMC substitutions. I love the color play. I like kind of the fun quilty motifs. I literally this was the product of one afternoon, Friday afternoon. I was like, you know what, I'm done. I did something I hadn't done for a while. I started just playing in my design software, and I just got playing, and I did this, and then I rotated that, and I did this, and somehow I ended up with these rows. And then I got the first one done, which I can't remember now which was the first one I designed. And then I thought, oh, this could be fun. I could create a whole forest.
Of course you can.
And then it was like 6 o'clock, and I had to go cook dinner. And I kind of forgot about them. And then when I was invited to the Jingle Ball and they said, you need an exclusive, I was like, this could be perfect. So they're quick to stitch. If you don't want to do the standing tree like this, there's so many options. Make it an ornament for your tree. Don't like to stitch on the dark linen? Stitch on a different color linen. I think it would be beautiful on a red or a green or a neutral or a white. I would switch maybe the white out to a different color. There was actually somebody who stitched one of these and made it into a strawberry. It blew my mind. I can't find the picture. I've been looking for it. But basically, if you think about it, if you look at this shape, that's kind of the shape of a strawberry before you finish it like a strawberry. And it was the coolest thing ever.
Yeah, it was pretty neat.
So the tree lot. So if you weren't at last year's ball and you weren't able to get it, or you were at last year's ball and you thought, nah, I don't need it, but you need it now, it's going to shops next week. Right? Okay. Whew, thank you. And did I say Classic Colorworks? Yes. Okay. Very fun color palette. Traditional reds and greens, and then I threw a lot of neutrals in there, which are kind of fun for Christmas. So, all right. And we got this guy. A couple Christmas designs this time. Here you go.
It's a fumble.
We fumbled Santa. We're going to get on the naughty list. Okay, this is Pere Noel. Pere Noel was my ornament from last year's Jingle Ball Bauble book. That's the ornament book that is for sale at the ball. Every one of the 12 designers designs an ornament to go in there. And it was, every single ornament was just amazing. So it's a great keepsake. And so again, I'm releasing him now in case you either didn't get to the ball last year or you didn't order the book. Now you can just get my design, Pere Noel. So if you remember, Oh Christmas 3, which was a design at last year's ball, I brought it out in June this year?
Yeah, it was June.
And it used a color and cotton thread pack. If you purchased the thread pack back in June when it came out, and to stitch the Oh Christmas 3, the 3 ornaments in Oh Christmas 3, this is the same thread palette, and you have enough threads to stitch this one, the Papa Noel, Father Christmas, as well. There are a few DMC shades that you'll need, just a little smidge of, you'll need like a brown for his boots, a little gray in the beard, and then a flesh color for face. I did put DMC colors on the chart, suggested colors, but I mean, I'm just gonna say you probably have it in your stash. So you need like maybe a yard cut, if that. So very little bit. But the hand-dyed threads, if you bought them for the other chart, you got plenty to do this. So you get 4 different ornaments out of that thread pack. So I think that's pretty cool. So Pere Noel Father Christmas is heading to shops next week.
I love this.
So I know, I like him too. I like his flowing beard. I like the little look on his face. He's kind of got a little like,
he's having a good time.
I know which list you're on. So which list are you on?
What's next?
Okay. Okay, so I have a quick question for you. Tree lot.
Yes.
What's your favorite, like, going and getting the Christmas tree story of ours? With like,
the one year we went out, there was a tree farm out near Akron, near us, and it had snowed, and it was just cold. And we went out there with the boys, and we found a great tree. The roads were horrible. It was ice. But we had a great time.
Yeah.
It was a good time.
Yeah.
The other one that was a non-tree lot story was the year it was so cold that all the Christmas trees froze. So my tree lot experience was standing in Lowe's, texting you pictures of trees, saying, which one looks good to you?
That was the year we
got that tree.
We had to get a fake tree.
And we kept it. It was a great tree. We used it for years.
It was.
That was good.
Yeah.
But yeah, the one year we took the boys out, and it was doggone cold.
Yeah, that was fun. Like you drove out there, and then that you got into a hay rack, and then they took you out to the different fields. That you kind of told them like what sort, because they had like all different kinds. The different lot areas had different kinds of trees. So yeah, that was fun.
And that was the year we figured out why they give you the cardboard.
Yeah, because we forgot ours.
Yeah, I was like, why don't I need cardboard? And you get out there and you go to kneel in the snow, in the mud, and it's like, cardboard. That's why the cardboard exists. Yeah. So don't forget the cardboard.
Oh my gosh. Anyway, so are you okay? We got 2 more to go. We're getting there. Ooh, this is a long video. So
it's all good.
So the next one is the Homespun Gathering. Man, I had to think about the name there for a second. Woo, okay. We've been doing a lot of gathering this year.
The good thing is the name of the next one is on it. So we're good.
So this is called the Homespun Gathering. So I haven't posted about this one on social media yet. I've done a few sneak peeks. And so it comes in a tray. I've finished mine in a tray. So there are 4 different pieces in this. This was a collaborative project that I did with a friend who, Julie from Me and My Stitches. She's the gal that she's a quilt fabric designer. She is also a jewelry designer. She'll paper piece teeniest little pendants. I mean, you're talking an entire log cabin square, 1 inch big. Her husband makes those ruler boxes. I know you see a lot of ruler boxes around, but he's been doing those for years.
They're the best.
There's some, and I love them. They're just beautifully done, and you can tell he's a craftsman. And so we kind of got talking because, okay, probably this is a longer story than I need to go into, but right when COVID hit and we were coming back from market, I saw a post that Julie did. And she was she lives in Iowa, so she's also an Iowa girl. And I knew she was working on her first fabric line. I had ordered a few of her things over the years, so I kind of knew her a little bit. She was at a show down in Texas to vend. I mean, it was a big show. It's one of her big shows of the year. And they literally got to Texas, set the entire booth up, which takes a lot of work. And then they came in and said, you have to close down, COVID. It was canceled. Drove home, spent all that money. I know she had to be devastated. And she posted about it, and I laugh now, but I mean, good things ultimately came out of it. She posted saying that, she had to go home and da-da-da-da, but in the picture, there was this hexagonal ruler box. And I'm like, yeah, sob story and all that. What about the box? And I had to get online and order them, and I ordered it in 2 sizes, and then it came. And I know that makes me sound so unfeeling. It's just kind of a funny part of the story because it led to some really fun things. And I posted about the box when it came, and of course everybody's looking at my post going, where'd you get the box? And so I'm like, go there. And she reached out to me and she said, that was so nice that I did that, because it took a little bit of the sting out of the loss, the market closing down. And and we just kind of kept talking after that, and she was working on her very first fabric line, and of course there were no markets that year. That was a year. And so she said, hey, I'm not going to have some of my things, would you want to work on a project together? So we did. So it was a really fun process. It's been a couple years now. We just, so I redid the original finishes to kind of, because initially I used a lot of her fabrics, and actually I did continue to use her fabrics, but in my finishes, but I kind of had some other thoughts in mind. So if you know anything about me, I love a good vessel. I feel like, and I love working with other people in the industry. That's obvious. So April in Alabama, who you might know her because she's done the boards for our 2 mystery stitch alongs. She had posted this tray, not this tray, but a tray. And I'm like, hey, you got any other tray? So she came up with this fun tray. Look at the fun feet. And it's just, I don't know how big this is, like maybe, I don't know what you say, it's like 5 by 7-ish, something like that. Just to give you some idea of the size. And it's got these cute feet. And then I lined the bottom. This block comes in it, and I lined the bottom with some of her fabric line. That was her very first fabric line. I did put a magnet in there. Of course I did. And then she came up with this cube. It's a block of wood. And because we were kind of going back and forth, I knew I wanted to change up how I originally finished the pieces. Originally, this was finished into a fabric, like the base of a fabric tray, but I wanted a different look. So I just love the way it sits in the box. I love a good vessel. I don't know what it is. And I think this is a good vessel. So it fits perfectly in there. Then of course, all your other little accessories can go in here. So I imagine like carrying this from stitchy spot to stitchy spot. So the chart itself, I should say, will be going to shops. Now for the tray, you do need to order that from Homestead Needlework on Etsy. It's available in April's Etsy site. She is painting them. So you will get this tray, and it's probably about 1 inch deep, and then you'll get the block of wood. And what I love about this, okay, you're like, well, what do I do with the block of wood? It actually has more options than you think. I'm using it kind of as a decoration in the tray. Plus, I imagine like if I go to my stitching area, I put my little tray down, and then I'm gonna take the block out, and I did actually put a magnet in there. So if I wanna rest my scissors, or rest a needle, or rest something, it'll stick to that. Also, I think it's a really cute little sampler, and a lot of the samplers, a lot of the stitches were inspired by the patterns and that she created with her first fabric line. So this is a 32 count raw, and it's all DMC. I put the amount of fabric that you need, like a fat eighth will be good for all 4 pieces. And it's one DMC color palette. There's like about maybe 8 colors, something like that. 1 skein of each will do all of them. I did include finishing instructions within the chart for all of these. But this is just flat finished, and it sits right on that block. All right, so if you do 14 count or 28 count, it's going to be a little big for the block. So I would definitely stick to 16 or 32. And I kept it very close, and I kept a nice clean edge. There's no cording or trim or anything on there. I just wanted something, I don't know, I want something clean, and that your focus would be on this really cool sampler. The other thing I think is, if you're like me and I change up my little decor spots, how fun would this be to just, because the block is, I don't know, what would you say, it's about 3/4 of an inch wide, 7/8, maybe an inch?
Yeah, close to an inch.
Close to an inch. Just set it up and tuck it in somewhere, and it's quasi-patriotic colors. I just think it would be fun to tuck in somewhere as part of a little themed grouping setting, put it in a basket, put it on a shelf. There's a lot of options for it. So to me, April and I were talking one night, and I'm like, I don't know, I can just see it on there. And she goes, I can too. So a lot of fun. So this is one piece. This is the sampler square. Okay. What did I call? Yeah, did I call that I called it
sampler block.
the sampler block. Okay. Then we also have a little fob, because you got to have, these different tools. And I have actually posted the that little flag a couple times when we get to certain days to celebrate, and people are like, where can I get that? Well, it's part of this. So that's the patriotic B-skep, the B-skep fob. Oh, yes, I know what this was called. The sampler square. See, I knew there was an alliteration in there somewhere.
Okay.
The sampler square, and this is the pick your pumpkin patchwork, or pumpkin patchwork pin cushion. Say that 10 times.
Yeah, say that quickly. I'm not going to attempt it.
So, and it's just got cute little pumpkins that are sitting on a little shelf, and just fun pinwheels, lots of peas in there. And then I did include finishing instructions, and on the back, you want to show the back, I made a pocket on the pumpkin patchwork pin cushion.
With a pocket.
With a pocket. Okay? And there is a magnet in there. So, now stick it in. Do you know where it is? Let's see if you can find it. Yep, over here. There's the magnet. And so I just stuck
I lose.
So there's actually, before I close the bottom of the pillow up, there's a little magnet stuck in there. And again, this, to me, this is great for like a pack of needles, or those little clippy things that we all use. Like, attach those. So I like my things to have a little function. Anyway, this last one's my favorite piece of the whole thing. That's the barn quilt pinwheel. I just love the colors. I love the design. I love everything about that one. So, so if you want to finish it like this, and that's some of her cool fabric on the back. So I've included finishing instructions. So if you want to, you'll have to order the tray from April. I will put that information below, and then it's also in the chart too. And I just love it because you can just kind of course, you attach your scissors to this, and then you just sort of tuck all this in your tray, and then you're not like, trying to hold 4 different things. It's all in your tray, and you can carry it with you. I just love a fun little tray. I don't know. Or, if you're like me, I display all the pretty things. So.
Yes, you do.
Anyway, so this is a Homespun Gathering. Man, I am having a hard time with the titles tonight. Homespun Gathering, and just a fun stitches, and I think they make great display pieces, and I just love the colors. So, okay, one more. And this one, he's right, is easy. It's called Enjoy the Stitch. How do I know that? So, enjoy the stitch. All right, and this is too, you can definitely tell I like the vessel. This is on a box that was designed by Chantelle. Chantelle's 141. She's calling this a trinket box. What I like about the construction of this, she kind of talked to me about, she had this vision for a box. And so with some of her pieces, when you put them together, because they arrive all flat, which makes them great for shipping, and you have to assemble it, and she does great videos on how to assemble it. She wanted one that didn't have kind of like the tongue and groove corners. She wanted a more sleek looking corner. So this is actually, it's really cool how it all goes together. And if it's not up now, I believe she is putting up a tutorial on how to put it together. It's really easy to figure out. I actually put it together without the tutorial because I had to get it done. And you do have to paint it. I assembled it first, then I spray painted it. Super easy to do. What I like about this, yay! And I used the same slate gray, or was it anvil gray? Anvil gray chalk paint that I used on the edge display shelves. I happen to have a lot of it, so the same color. And then I did just sand the corners and the edges a little bit. Just a couple coats. Set it up in your garage or someplace. Put it in a box to kind of keep the overspray at a minimum. And then
so you don't end up with red garage floors.
Yeah.
But that's another story.
I did that, but it's not, the red's gone mostly. It's kind of pink now. Anyway, so it's easy to do. Come on. It's easy to put together and it's easy to paint. It's really not that big a deal. So then what I did, again, like I did with the Homespun Gathering, I lined the bottom and I referenced the floss tube in the chart to show you how I did that. It's very easy. And obviously, once again, I put a magnet there. I just like magnets because if you're moving around with it, everything stays where it should. And then I just felt like it also needed a little pincushion. Doesn't everything need a pincushion?
Sure.
I should make no, I'm not going to go there. So anyway, I did also reference the fabric that I used on the completion, and then I put a couple pins in there and just wrapped some little baker's twine. No pocket. I didn't think to put I didn't think to put a pocket on this one, but you could easily do so because it's the same size as the other one. So I just thought it was fun to just fit in there. And then I just love the hinged lid. And I did a reel on Instagram tonight to kind of show how the action on that lid. I just think it's really cool.
It's well done.
So this is Fabrics by Stephanie Angel Wing. It's DMC floss. The Rick Rack is Witch Face Green from Lady Creates. And again, the finishing fabrics I referenced in the chart. And that's just a flat finish. I have tutorials all over my website for flat finish, how to attach the Rick Rack. There was the season 2 tutorial, which shows you how to do that. So a lot of times people ask me if there's a tutorial, and I will say, oh, hopefully we did not lose everything. No, I think we're back. Sorry, we just had a low battery mode, which means we should probably stop talking.
Like it or not, we're going away.
Okay, this is one of our longest videos. Yeah. But it's been a while. Okay, so the new releases ship to shops next week. Next Thursday?
Thursday.
Okay.
We'll start shipping.
So they'll start going out. So contact your shop. You'll see a lot of shops have already started advertising it on their social media pages. If you are not sure what shop will be getting the stuff, because we've already had shops ordering this morning because the information just went out to them this morning. Then we do keep a list of shops that carry our designs on my website, handsondesign.biz, B-I-Z, and there's a where to buy page. New releases don't go on my website right away. I let the shops have them a little bit first. And I'm excited about this. This'll, other than the Jingle Ball, this will be our last new release for the year. This is typically when we end that because we start getting ready for market.
Market in the new year.
In the new year, so yay.
Okay. We've still got to get to Virginia and back.
I know, it's been a year.
It's going to be great.
Yeah, it's been a year so far, Mr. Haberman. What do you think of your first? Is this?
Hasn't been a year yet.
But where are we? About
almost 9 months.
Not really. Wow.
It's great. I really enjoy it.
We're gonna have a performance review in a FLOSSTUBE after year 1.
Yeah.
So
I'll have to visit with HR again on that one. I have not been successful in that, but you know.
Anyway, so so one last go around real quick. Tree lot. This is the new releases. Tree lot. You get all 3 ornaments, classic color works, charcoal, easy finish, flat finish. Get some dowel rods, paint them red, get some pretty ribbon, get you some buckets. And then we had Pere Noel from the Jingle Ball. Well, it was from the Jingle Ball last year. Now it was in the book. Now you can just purchase the individual ornament if you would like to do so. Homespun Gathering with this awesome tray from April. If I didn't mention it before, it comes already painted. So if painting's not your thing, this is a good way to go. It is quite possible, I did not test it, that Enjoy the Stitch might actually even fit in the bottom of the tray. I don't know. I'll have to investigate that. But that comes with the 4 different designs. Finishing instructions are included for the sampler square, barn quilt pinwheel, the pick your pumpkin pin cushion, and pumpkin patchwork pin cushion. Wow! And then the flag fob. So there you go. I love the classic colors of this piece. So, and then we have finally Enjoy the Stitch. I like the little, what I wrote this morning is, you know, what did I say? We stitch together, basically we stitch together, we stitch sometimes alone, we stitch in group, we stitch for fun, we stitch for pleasure, we stitch for relaxation. No matter how you stitch, you should always enjoy the stitch. So you'll notice a lot of times in my hashtag list when I post that the last 2 hashtags are usually enjoy the stitch and stitch some happy. And since I already did a chart called Stitch Some Happy, I thought it was about time that I designed a chart called Enjoy the Stitch.
Yeah.
Because we should.
Absolutely.
So, all right, now we gotta go figure out what to do for dinner. Something with that chicken, that salsa chicken.
Yeah.
There you go, Mom. I'll figure it out. Anyway, so thank you for spending time with us. Hopefully you made it the whole way. I don't know. Some people say they like the really long videos, so hopefully they do. And if you didn't like all the stuff in the beginning, fast forward. Yep. So I look forward to seeing everybody at the Virginia retreat. I look forward to seeing you at the Jingle Ball. Just keep stitching.
Yeah, absolutely.
And oh my gosh, we almost forgot.
Evidently, I forgot.
We did our first donation for the Polar Plunge. Okay, really quick. Wow, I posted about that the other day. Last Saturday, we had we were supposed to donate it like a little over a week ago, and then I had a schedule snafu, and so the regional Special Olympics regional bowling competition was just this past Saturday here in town for the Northwest region, Iowa region. And so we had people from the state office, we had our delegation head, we had athletes. We thought this is a great opportunity to make our first donation for the Polar Plunge, because the actual Polar Plunge event for our group is next weekend. No, Saturday. This weekend. This Saturday. And just to be clear, we are not plunging. We are going to go and golf clap. Nobody better get any water on me. But anyway, so do you remember numbers?
Close.
Okay. So in all, our first donation from the sale of the narwhal, remember the first 5 charts, finishing boards, fabrics, threads you get from your local shop. And then the final chart, and it's for Narwhal, you come to our website, and it is back on our regular website. We had that separate website for it, but we decided it was time to bring it back to the regular website, and it's for Narwhal. And the total of the sales were...
It was $9,560. Excuse me.
So what we did is we gave $2,000 to Special Olympics Iowa, to the state office.
To the state organization.
And then the balance of it came to our Sioux City Knights. And so in case you're wondering why, I mean, the state office has a lot of corporate sponsors and things like that. We do not. We are self-funded, parent-led. And but we also did want to recognize what the state office does for us, and actually, quite frankly, has done for our family, because they've been very good to us and very good to Billy.
They provide a lot of benefits to the athletes.
They do. So we wanted to recognize that. And then also, we were honored to present a check from our good friend Lois of Lady Dot Creates, who created that Ennis for Narwhal scissor fob. And apparently it is still available in her Etsy shop. She has some left. She wrote a check to the Sioux City Knights for $5,100. So
it was amazing.
Yeah. So
thank you,
yes,
everyone.
Thank you.
Those amounts have a direct benefit to the athletes.
Yeah, they do.
When we go to state games or whatever, we're renting a bus, and it could be $6,000 for 2 buses for 2 days.
Yep.
Hotel rooms, food, equipment, uniforms. None of our, sorry, I'm losing my voice here. None of our athletes are expected to pay for anything. It does not cost them to participate in Special Olympics, at least in our delegation. So it's very important to us. And like Cathy said, we don't have sponsorships. We have a very generous local community that support us a lot. There's a very generous stitching community, quite frankly, that is supporting us very well right now.
Yeah.
And we really do appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Excuse me.
So really between the retreat at Chantel's and what we've raised so far with the Polar Plunge, we've actually really been able to do, you've been actually able to do a lot of good work. I think almost crying twice in a video is should not happen, but it's very emotional for us, and we really appreciate it. So
absolutely.
Anyway, the chart itself will stay. It will remain as a donation chart. So it's not going away. It will always be for sale on the website as a PDF download, so that we can, as we have said many times in the past, donate the entire $8 sales price, purchase price to Special Olympics. We take care of the PayPal fees and the Visa fees. And so we take that full $8 and donate it.
And we did move it's not on the Shopify site anymore. It's on our website.
Yes.
So.
But if you go to the website, you'll see it. So, and if you can't find it, email.
Let us know.
Anyway, so we probably should end here, because we're going on the longest video ever, and we just keep talking. But that's okay. So thank you if you're hanging with us, and contact your shop if you need any of the new releases. And we promise it won't be so long before our next one.
Promise?
Well, we'll try. And then get signed up for the Jingle Ball. Remember, look for the link below. All right. In the meantime, enjoy the stitch.